From barefoot farmers to military fortresses, world leaders live under wildly different levels of protection. In this countdown, we reveal the 10 most fascinating security setups on Earth, from humble leaders with no guards to presidents shielded by tanks, drones, and secret bunkers. You won't believe who's at the top. Level 1. Joseph Mujica, the barefoot president. While other presidents ride in armored limousines, José Mujica drove a beat-up 1987 Volkswagen Beetle, valued at just $1,800.00. He lived on a tiny farm with his wife, grew chrysanthemums to sell at markets, and gave away nearly 90% of his salary to charities. But what truly set Mujica apart? Zero flashy guards, no motorcade, no bulletproof vest. Just a man of the people walking freely among his citizens. He refused to live in the presidential palace, opting instead for a humble home with a leaky roof. Despite being a former guerrilla fighter who had survived years of solitary confinement, he believed that fear should never rule his presidency. His philosophy? You don't need much to live well. His lack of protection didn't go unnoticed. He was criticized for putting himself at risk in a world where heads of state are frequent targets. But Mujica shrugged it off, saying, "I'd rather be killed than live in a golden cage." In today's world of $400 million 0-cent yachts and armed drones, his approach remains a shock to the system. A reminder that true leadership isn't always wrapped in steel and secrecy. Whether you see it as bravery or recklessness, Mujica's minimalist style still echoes around the globe as a symbol of grounded power and selfless governance. Level 2. Rodrigo Duterte, the street rider. In a world of bulletproof glass and 20-car motorcades, Rodrigo Duterte did something unthinkable. He rolled through the streets of Manila on a motorcycle, flanked not by elite guards, but by his biker buddies. No flashing sirens, no helicopters overhead, just a leather jacket, raw confidence, and an ironclad reputation. Nicknamed the Punisher, Duterte led the Philippines with a heavy hand, earning both admiration and controversy. But it wasn't just his politics that turned heads, it was his laid-back security style. Rather than armored limos, he preferred 2 wheels and a pack of fiercely loyal friends. And let's not forget, his presidential salary was only around $28,000 a year, a far cry from other global leaders. But fear, that was free, and Duterte used it masterfully. His inner circle doubled as his shield, friends became enforcers, motorcycle rides turned into statements of control. His approach wasn't conventional, but it worked. For him, it painted a picture of a man untouchable, not by armor, but by aura. For a nation once plagued by crime and corruption, Duterte's blend of accessibility and intimidation set a new tone. Some called it reckless, others revolutionary. One thing's for sure, you didn't need to see bodyguards to feel the power. Level 3. Pope Francis. Holiness with guards. When it comes to divine leadership, no one embodies it like Pope Francis. But while he walks with humility, his security is anything but modest. At the Vatican, protection is an art, and this Pope is guarded like a living treasure. Standing at his side, the elite Swiss Guard, the oldest active military unit in the world, in their iconic Renaissance uniforms. But don't let the fashion fool you. These men are highly trained in modern combat. And for public appearances, the Pope Mobile, a custom-made bulletproof vehicle worth over $600,000, 0 cents. It's designed not just to shield him from harm, but to allow him to greet the faithful up close. Every inch of it says grace under armor. Unlike other world leaders hidden behind walls and tinted windows, Pope Francis reaches for the people. Touching hands, blessing children, embracing the poor. Yet behind that vulnerability is a network of Vatican security experts, plainclothes officers, and digital surveillance systems that track threats worldwide. Even his international visits are guarded like royal tours. When he traveled to the US, the Secret Service treated it as a presidential-level event, blocking streets, scanning buildings, and coordinating with military units. It's a delicate balance. Humility meets high alert, a man of peace wrapped in a cocoon of vigilance. Because in today's world, even the Holy Father needs to be more than blessed. He must be bulletproof. Level 4. Shinzo Abe, the tragic gap. In a nation where gun violence is almost non-existent, the assassination of Shinzo Abe in 2022 shook the world and shattered illusions about safety at the highest level. Japan's longest-serving prime minister had a well-trained protection detail, but what unfolded that day in Nara was nothing short of catastrophic. Despite strict security protocols, Abe was fatally shot with a homemade weapon while giving a speech in broad daylight. His bodyguards were present, but seconds too late. The gunman had time to approach, fire, and even reload. It wasn't just an attack. It was a failure of anticipation and coordination. What makes this even more chilling is the context. Japan has some of the world's toughest gun laws, and political violence is rare. Yet this attack revealed how a lone, determined assailant could still bypass layers of protection. The suspect's motives? Personal grievances, nothing linked to organized terror or ideology. Abe's death forced Japan into a reckoning. New security standards were introduced almost overnight. Today, top Japanese officials are shielded by heavily reinforced personnel, upgraded surveillance, and stricter crowd control, even for events once considered low risk. And the financial cost, the revamped security plans are said to cost millions annually, including new equipment and expanded protective units. For a man who once symbolized stability and modern leadership, Abe's tragic end became a wake-up call. Because in today's volatile world, even the most peaceful nations must learn that vigilance is no longer optional. It's essential. Level 5. Narendra Modi. Tactical tech armor. In a nation of over 1.4 billion people, protecting India's Prime Minister isn't just a job. It's a military-grade mission. Narendra Modi's security detail, known as the Special Protection Group, SPG, is one of the most technologically advanced in the world. Their motto? No room for error. His motorcade includes bulletproof BMW 7 Series sedans, customized with reinforced steel, run-flag tires and airtight cabins that can withstand chemical attacks. Price tag? Upwards of $1,200,000, 0 cents per vehicle. But that's just the beginning. Modi's team also carries tactical briefcases that open into ballistic shields within seconds, a dramatic piece of gear straight out of a spy film. His public appearances are choreographed to the second, with drone jammers, facial recognition tech, and sniper teams stationed discreetly at every corner. Even his speeches are delivered under portable bulletproof canopies. Airspace over his locations is locked down, roads are sealed, and let's not forget, his team runs real-time digital scans of the crowd for any anomalies or heat signatures. Why so extreme? India's PM has survived multiple plots and faces both internal and external threats, including terror groups and political radicals. The cost of this 360-degree protection, an estimated $180 million, 0 cents, annually, funded by the Indian government. Yet through all this steel and strategy, one thing is clear. Modi stands not just as a leader, but as a symbol of power, technology, and national pride. And in today's high-risk world, his security is more than protection. It's political armor. Level 6. Emmanuel Macron, the fortified statesman. Leading one of the world's most influential nations comes at a high price, and Emmanuel Macron knows that cost well. As President of France, his security is among the most fortified in Europe, a necessity in a country known for mass protests, political volatility, and acts of terror. His presidential convoy includes custom-armored Peugeot 5008S, reinforced to withstand explosives and ballistic attacks, valued at over $500,000, 0 cents each. Flanked by elite GGN units, France's top-tier tactical police. Macron's every public move is calculated, rehearsed, and protected from all angles. Yet even with all this, the unexpected happens. In 2021, Macron was slapped in public during a walkabout. The incident shocked the world and proved that no security system is truly invincible. Inside Élysée Palace, state-of-the-art surveillance and facial recognition systems monitor visitors. Armed guards patrol rooftops. Riot teams stand by during large public events, especially since Macron's pension reforms have triggered nationwide unrest and violent protests. Unlike many heads of state, Macron often chooses to interact directly with crowds. But this boldness comes at a price: increased risk. That's why the French security services now use drones, undercover spotters and behavioral analysts to scan for threats before they can strike. His total security budget reportedly exceeds $120 million, 0 cents, annually, a figure that reflects the growing challenge of leading a modern European power. Macron doesn't just lead with speeches, he does it behind a shield of steel. In today's Europe, politics isn't just about policies, it's about survival. Level 7. Nicolás Maduro, the human shield president. When you're the leader of a collapsing economy with enemies lurking both inside and out, you don't just wear a vest, you become a fortress. Nicolás Maduro, Venezuela's embattled president, learned this the hard way during the infamous 2018 drone attack, when 2 explosive-laden drones targeted him during a military parade. Since then, his security has turned militarized and hyper-reactive. At any public event, a human wall of armed guards instantly surrounds him at the first sign of danger. Think of it as a living, breathing shield. Their response time is honed down to split seconds, trained to swarm and smother at the first loud pop. His convoys now resemble wartime battalions more than presidential motorcades, flanked by armored SUVs, motorcycles, and heavily armed escorts with live rounds chambered and fingers on the trigger. Every vehicle is bulletproof and bomb-resistant, with each costing an estimated $300,000, 0 cents or more. The skies aren't ignored either. Drones patrol overhead, surveillance balloons hover during rallies, and snipers take up positions on rooftops. Access to Maduro is extremely limited, even for senior officials. His private residence in Caracas is fortified with blast-proof gates, anti-drone jammers, and panic bunkers, rumored to be worth over $20 million, 0 cents in upgrades alone. Maduro's approach to protection isn't just defense, it's a message. I'm still standing, and I'm untouchable. In a country gripped by turmoil, fear, and rebellion, his security isn't about status, it's about survival at all costs. Level 8. Kim Jong-un. The paranoid fortress. When it comes to protection, Kim Jong-un doesn't play defense, he plays total dominance. In a regime where absolute loyalty is the only currency, the North Korean leader lives in a bubble of extreme security, curated down to the last spoon on his dinner table. His bodyguards don't just walk, they sprint beside his motorcade in synchronized motion. It's not for show. Each one is elite, hand-picked and trained for rapid interception. Every meal is pre-tasted, every route scouted, and even his barbers are screened for political purity. His armored Mercedes Maybach, flown in from Germany in violation of sanctions, is a $500,000 0 cents fortress on wheels, shielded against bullets, gas attacks, and even EMPs. Alongside it, decoy convoys, jamming technology, and a motorcade so secure it could rival a military strike team. Inside his inner circle, even chefs and servants undergo lifelong vetting. And if loyalty wavers, disappearances follow. It's rumored some officials vanish for mere suspicion, proof that betrayal is a death sentence in Pyongyang. His residences, spread across secret locations, are loaded with tunnels, bunkers, and escape routes, with construction projects reportedly costing tens of millions. The public never sees him randomly. Every appearance is strategic, guarded, and meticulously choreographed. Kim's obsession with survival is more than paranoia. It's state policy. In his world, danger is everywhere, and trust is earned only once. That's why in North Korea, the most protected man isn't just a president. He's a living fortress. Level 9. Donald Trump, billionaire under siege. When it comes to high-stakes protection, no former president draws fire or security quite like Donald Trump. With a legacy that polarizes and a billionaire status to match, his personal safety demands military-grade shielding. At any moment, Trump is flanked by over 300 Secret Service agents, including counter-sniper units, tactical drivers, cyber experts, and even canine squads trained to detect explosives. His movements are tracked by drones and monitored with cutting-edge facial recognition software. And then there's Mar-a-Lago, his gilded fortress in Florida. This isn't just a lavish resort. It's a 24/7 secured compound. Armed guards roam the perimeter, robotic dogs patrol the grounds, and Coast Guard boats line the nearby waters. The estate's advanced surveillance system includes thermal cameras, aerial sensors, and encrypted communications, racking up costs estimated at $40,000, 0 cents per day just for security logistics. His armored Cadillac, known as the Beast, has doors as heavy as those on a Boeing 757 and can withstand a chemical attack or rocket blast. Even while golfing, a full team shadows him. It's not just about prestige. Trump has faced numerous threats, including attempts to breach Mar-a-Lago and credible plots tracked by US intelligence. In today's volatile climate, where influence invites danger, Trump's protection isn't a luxury, it's a necessity of power. Few figures walk with this much controversy, and even fewer need this much armor to move. Level 10. Xi Jinping, the military state. When it comes to absolute power, no leader on earth is more fortified than 11 Jinping. His personal security is indistinguishable from China's national defense, a staggering machine with over 2 million active troops at his disposal. This isn't just protection, it's a fortress of control. To every public appearance, she is shielded by multi-layered rings of security, including facial recognition drones, satellite surveillance, and armed military police trained to respond in under 60 seconds. Behind closed doors, access is almost mythical. Only a vetted inner circle, including his official translator, who must pass national clearance checks, are allowed near him. Even his aircraft, the Air China 747, is retrofitted with anti-missile systems, encrypted comms, and a secure command hub capable of launching military responses mid-air. Xi's public demonstrations of power, like the $10 billion 0 cents 70th anniversary parade featuring nuclear-capable missiles and stealth bombers, aren't just pageantry. They're calculated messages. I am the state. With net worth rumors climbing past $1 billion, 0 cents, and an empire woven through every corner of China's economy, Xi Jinping has built not just a political dynasty, but an impenetrable domain. In the global game of leadership, Zado play defense. He commands the board with a full army at his back. Behind every powerful leader is a web of security, sometimes silent, sometimes spectacular. Whether it's a bulletproof Popemobile or a human shield, these layers reflect fear, power, and global tension. As threats evolve, so does protection. But one thing remains: even the most guarded are never truly untouchable. So, which level surprised you the most? Do you think more security means more safety or more paranoia? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insider looks into the world's richest, most powerful, and most protected. Because what's hidden is often the most revealing.